Causes Political Institute provides workshops on campaigning and pressing policy issues for people like you and I seeking to expand our horizons in order to better serve the community.
And the biggest challenge that we face as leaders when we're communicating a message to people who care but don't care as much as we do is realizing that their window of opportunity is not as large as ours is.
When it comes to messaging, I think it's key for us to own the message and not back off of it. It's important for us to understand a perception, where we come from, how that shapes what we're going to do in life.
In my world of politics, there are three kinds of people. There are saints, there are sinners, and there are salvageables. Somebody who disagrees with you isn't bad, but they're people who are never going to convince no matter what. Because if 40% of the voters are saints and 40% of the voters are quote-unquote sinners, the last 20% are salvageable. Swing voters.
It's really how do you reach out to other folks and how do you have that credibility in the community already. And
your goal with your saints is to motivate them. Your goal with sinners, basically you just want to avoid provoking them. But your goal with salvageables is to persuade them.
But it was important for me to get out there and show, I haven't lived here as long, but I chose to come here to the city because I love the city.
And so the key is to turn around some of those stereotypes, but to articulate them as to how your story appeals to everyone else's story.
There are a lot of negative perceptions about Asians that will play out on the campaign trail. We are the perpetual foreigner. There's nothing we can do to seem American enough. So how do we get around these perceptions?
And so I played up my roots in the community.
Wrap yourself around the flag.
But rather than letting someone else define who you are for you, explain to voters, particularly to salvageables, who you are.
We need to show that we're Americans first.
The goal to set out for yourself is to say, for right now, I'm going to stand on the shoulders of giants, but what can I do to prepare myself so that others can stand on mine?
And that kind of opened up my eyes and gave me a new information to think about it in different ways, and it was really, really helpful.
As an aspiring politician, I've learned to create a much more understandable and personable campaign.